Good evening, good evening, good evening, folks. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We're going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do the usual disclaimers, this time I was a little bit later because I'm addicted to puzzle games. And once I get sucked in, it's difficult to pull myself out. It's totally on me. Sorry, y'all. Pleh. I'm making the most out of the few days of so-called vacation I have left before the new computer comes and I start having to take the billing and coding classes. So, yeah, kind of induced my own autistic fog brain there. Kind of my fault. But anyways, to the disclaimers. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take a look at the article written by Neuroclastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened Neuroclastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. Neuroclastic refused, you know the drill. Read the article, share on all your social media. Also included is Neuroclastic's public statement regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever actually does see through with their threat. Trigger warning 1. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips or surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please utilize your headphones. Trigger warning 2. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and we do speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously, parental supervision is very much advised. Alright, so we're going to start where we left off last night. Now, I did not get my video up earlier today because today was when I was trying a bunch of new different exercises with the elastics. And I lost all meaning time. It's just kind of been one of those days, so I'm going to get that up tonight. We'll have this video I'm doing now up for you tomorrow. I really need to start getting on a better schedule here. I'm all discombobulated. All right, where we left off last night. The intervening history since last time we provided this feedback has been instructive as to these facts. While the JRC has challenged this rulemaking in federal court, it has done little, if any, to provide residents with comprehensive behavior supports, including assessment, which could facilitate transition away from these devices. In other words, shock above all shocks, the JRC has done nothing. To put it bluntly, JRC has not done anything whatsoever in regards to providing a different form of treatment program for the kids that are unfortunately saddled with this device. In fact, the truth of the matter is because of COVID, when the original ban went through in 2020, it never got implemented because not long after it was finally finalized, COVID hit and the FDA, for God knows what reason, decided that they were not going to enforce the ban during that time. Considering that was the time when everybody was forced to stay home and stay indoors, to me, that would be the time period that you should have been the most insistent in regards to enforcing the ban. There are times when dealing with bureaucracy and politics and federal departments that, God, this is fine. I don't care. I'm on a list anyways. You want to smack some sense back into these people. What do you mean these kids have to wait to stop being tortured behind closed doors instead of COVID? What do you mean that this school that is being eyeballed by a federal department is just allotted $83 million out of federal COVID funds with no checks, no balances, nothing? Free money for one of the most barbaric institutions we have here on planet Earth. I'm not going to back down from that. I don't care what was going on during that time period. Their safety means more to me than but COVID and all the difficulties. Fuck your difficulties. Those kids getting shocked just below the lethal limit, those are the only folks whose issues I give a single shit about. You are a federal department. Grow some balls and act like it. Because, folks, I've been fighting this for 20 years. I'm done playing nice. Sorry, but God. I have to be more politic, but on this channel, folks, you gotta realize this is Tiffany with mask off. When I have to be all political, I can be polite, engaging with some of the worst human beings I've ever spoken to in my life. But on this channel, I refuse to wear a mask. So this is just coming straight from my heart, my gut, from my soul. All right? Okay, before we get any further into left field, let's get this finished up, shall we? Okay. In addition, allowing a lengthy period for transition is inconsistent with the FDA's well-justified finding that these devices present an unreasonable and substantial risk of harm. Thank you! The reason you're banning the device is because that potential of risk of harm to their physical and psychological well-being. You're not weaning them off of a medication, you're removing a torture device. These things are not remotely the same, so why are we treating them the same? It makes no coherent sense. If you see somebody's being abused, you don't tell their parents that they need to start, hitting them slightly less hard, to wean them off of the abusive punches. Okay? Because that's the kind of logic that this seems to be representing here. And I absolutely agree with ASAN for bringing it up. This is not medication. You don't wean someone off of a torture device. You remove them off of it and get them as far from harm as humanly possible, as fast as possible. And here I thought I wasn't going to rant. It is especially troubling that the FDA proposes to defer enforcement of the ban with respect to those who have been subjected to them over a long period of time. These individuals have already suffered great harm. Each day that these individuals remain on these devices is another day they will continue to experience these harms. The FDA must ensure this ban is implemented with urgency. It should not permit any avoidable delay. That means now. You get that, FDA? It means now. All right, folks, before I get into another rant, I'm going to cut it short tonight. I got a few other things to do before I can, raid all the documentaries on my various different apps that I pay for. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, you do know the drill. Please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I appreciate your time tonight. As always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I will see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye, everyone.